Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation about SAP Logistic Business Network. My name is Antonella Stancato and I'm consulting manager at BMEX. BMEX is a consulting company and SAP partner specialized in digital supply chain and logistics area. Here is what I'm going to show you today. We will start with a brief introduction about LBN, focusing on global track and trace option to understand what it is about. We will then go more in detail of one of the standard template provided by SAP, the so-called sales order fulfillment template. After this short explanation, I will jump into the system and guide you through the scenario I prepared for you today to see how you can use the sales order and shipment tracking application provided by SAP. Logistic Business Network is, first of all, a software as a service solution, which includes actually three capabilities. So the freight collaboration, global track and trace, and material traceability. Focusing on GTT, the idea behind this tool is to create a network in which you can invite multiple logistic partners, such as your customer, logistic service provider, carriers, and you can start to monitor your business processes with milestones. Let's say the goal, of course, is to be able to react on exception or better to act to prevent disruptions. For example, knowing in advance if a truck will be even late for loading, so at the beginning of the process, then your planner can potentially rebook the unloading slot at the customer side in order to ensure always a good customer's experience first of all, and of course customer satisfaction. Just a quick note, what's the main difference between, let's say, the tracking part in the freight collaboration and the global track and trace option is that in GTT you are much more flexible to create your own scenario with specific milestone and specific rules to set up alerts and so on. Where, let's say, in the freight collaboration you will integrate your freight order from SAP TM and only specific milestones are available to be tracked. But let's say still in GTT there are some templates provided out of the box with the corresponding tracking application, which is what we are going to explore. So SAP provides sales order fulfillment or purchase order fulfillment templates, depending a little bit if you are more interested in tracking your outbound or inbound processes. In general, the main goal is to start monitoring business critical scenarios, integrating the documents from your backend system, such as ECC or S4HANA systems. And then you can start to receive your actual events. So for example, from ECC, in this scenario, we can integrate the sales order, the delivery, and the shipment with all the attributes that are really relevant for who is using the track and trace system. And especially the important piece is to integrate the planned timestamp of the event that you are expecting to receive. The data source for the actual can be actually several, depending on which stage of the process we are. For example, we could integrate the actual picking of or the good issue of the delivery from the warehouse management system, or we could receive information about good in transit from a real-time visibility platform. And then potentially the POD can directly be integrated from the carrier who is using the standard API. The very interesting part is the real-time visibility that you can achieve thanks to the standard integration the GTT has with some real-time data provider who will connect to 3PL and carriers, so they will take care of this part, and then from this platform we receive into GTT the geo position, for example, or the estimated time of arrival. And then this information can be very useful to react to disruption and plan, let's say, the subsequent stops and activities in a better way. But let's go into the system. So as I said before, we have different application, the sales order fulfillment application, the shipment, truck shipment application, and the purchase order fulfillment application. The truck sales order fulfillment app, let's say, starts with what we call a list page or overview page, where you have all your sales order with already here an indicator of the status, if it's delayed or if it's on time. You can see here the ship to party with several information, the net value, and so on. In all this application, you can set up your filters and create your own variant that then can be used as default. So if we go in one of the sales order, we can jump directly in the detailed page. The detailed page, you can see several information that, as I said, are actually coming from the backend system. For example, here we have all the item of the sales order. And then the most important part is this document flow. So in the document flow, you can see for every sales order the items, so sales order item, and then the delivery item, the delivery, and the shipment where this delivery was planned. Going, let's say, to the delivery item, for example, this one. So from here we can already see if this delivery item it's late or if it's on time, and then we can jump into more details. From the delivery item detail page, we can already see here what we call fulfillment status, which gives an overview of the events. How many events are, for example, overdue, reported, or planned. And if we scroll down, we can see here the execution flow with more details. So for example, in this delivery item, we were supposed to receive the good issue, departure, arrival, POD. And we can see that every event has already been reported. So you have here an overview of the planned timestamp together with the actual. The system, it's already calculating, let's say, the status of the event. So this one, for example, it was early reported, this was reported exactly on time, and then these two late reported. Of course, the latest event that got reported, it's then used to calculate the overall status of the delivery item, which in this case it's late. We can also see here some information, let's say, on the map. Oops. And where the truck is, the truck of this specific delivery, where this specific delivery item was planned. And from here, we can jump to the shipment detail page. Before going in the detail of this shipment detail page, I wanted also to quickly mention that basically, as we see here, we can also go to the shipment via the tracking application. So let's say, for example, your planner is not really interested in the sales order, but more in the shipment itself. He can just use the track shipment application, which is similar to the sales order app, but of course it contains shipment related information. Again, here you can set up your filters, and maybe you can also work with the filter on delivery number to see in which shipment your specific delivery has been planned. You can set up your filters working with departure location or filtering on a specific departure date. And and you will have your result here in this shipment page. From here, then you can of course navigate to this detailed page where we are right now. What can we see in the shipment? So again, we have a recap of the event by status. And then let's say here it's quite, let's say the map here on the shipment, it's quite interesting because we can see all the stops that the shipment it's supposed to do. Here it's where it's loading, and then first customer drop, second customer, and last one actually. On the left side we have the events that got reported, so the chronology, let's say. And then one very interesting information is where actually the truck is right now. So it's the current location. As I said before in my introduction, you can integrate GTT with this real-time visibility platform that are able to send you actual event, let's say on the planned one where you already have the planned location and of course the position of this location, because it's, let's say, maintained as a master data. But then also they are able to integrate the geoposition of the truck real time. Usually they are able to send this information every 10-15 minutes. So here we can see that this shipment has been loaded and departed from the production plant, and then he actually arrived already at the first customer, and between the first and the second customer we already received the geoposition of the truck. The nice thing, it's also a part of the geoposition, it's the fact that from this RTTV platform we are also able to receive the estimated time of arrival for the next stop. So here, for example, we can see that actually the shipment is late, even if just slightly late, because the POD was reported just 3 minutes after the planned time. Here in this example we didn't set up any tolerance, so this means even after 1 second the shipment would be, let's say, defined as late. Nevertheless, the estimated time of arrival is, I forgot already, 7:10 p.m., where the planned arrival was supposed to be at 8. So this gives a good information about the flow and the fact that the shipment is actually going to be on time at the final destination. We know that the goal of this tool is to receive the event automatically, so the user should not do any manual action. However, there is this functionality also to report events from this application. So for example, if I now want to report, let's say that I'm very early to the final destination, I would like to report my arrival, and I can just report the event. So what happens is that first of all, the event it's going to be reported on the shipment itself, of course. So we can see here that the reported now became 5. It was 4 before. The map is updated, so the position of the truck now it's on the final customer, the current location. But also from here you can see that actually you have visibility of every item that it's contained and dropped at this location, so contained in the shipment and dropped at this location, and the event got, let's say, reported also on all the delivery that are actually delivery item that are supposed to be dropped at that specific location. So if we look at this delivery, where in the execution flow, we can see again all the events, the planned event and the actual, of course, reported. And this last event that I just reported manually, the arrival, got also propagated to this delivery item. The same thing we can do on the proof of delivery. And on the proof of delivery, of course, again, I'm showing this to you manually through this application, but it can also be done via interface and standard API. You can, let's say, confirm the quantity that has been delivered, so that if there were some issue and the delivery was not delivered in full, then this is also shown here. So what we have seen here, actually, I didn't highlight this, but I'm going to do it right now. If you remember before before I reported the arrival tremendously early, let's say, my latest POD was late and the status was also late of the shipment, and now it became early. Because of course I reported the latest event early. Same thing again on the delivery. We have now all the events reported, the status is early, and we can see the event here. On the shipment, we have the execution status, which changed from in transit to completed, and the process status, which changed to early. So now I'm going to stop the system demo and go back to my slide deck. Because what are we going to do with all this information? It's the key question, I guess. How can we efficiently use them? So we have seen that GTT helps you to collect the data and determine the status of your document. But then the statuses should be reworked and aggregated. Which status am I talking about? The one that I just showed you. So first of all, the execution status, which can be in loading, in transit, completed. So different execution status might be interesting for different actors of your organization. And then the second one is the process status. If it's early, late, overdue, most probably nobody will focus on the early documents, but rather, let's say, check the late or the overdue one. So in order to allow the users to focus on the exception or on opportunities, these statuses and the data must be aggregated in dashboard. So the dashboard are available in SAP using Fiori Elements technology. And for each role, such as transportation manager, warehouse manager, customer service, a dedicated view can be built. And this will allow the employee to use specific filters and then really focus on the right information. This is what we consider the first step toward a digital supply chain. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. If you have any question, please feel free to get in touch with me, or also you can visit our BMX website to learn more about our packaged offer for supply chain visibility.